the wonderful opportunity which is given to me for sharing some of my thoughts, my experiences on what exactly is required in a finance professional. As you are already well aware, the CA course gives you lot of, once you complete, lot of financial security. There is no unemployment concept in a chartered accountant, and there is no age limit for employability or the working life, right? Unless you decide from tomorrow onward, I should forget everything in taxation, accounting and all that, I should remain idle. There is no great restriction on the age limit up to which you can do your professional work. In the time that is allotted to me, I would like to share as to what is required to be a disciplined professional. Considering the age that, not mine, yours. Considering the general societal view about the chartered accountancy course, I would like to share my experiences so that you will know what is the reality and work for it accordingly. Our education system in schools is so designed that we learn a subject and we also take an examination at the end of each year in that particular subject. The marks that we score are a criteria for going into the next level, correct? That's the way our education system works. Same thing in CA course also. So, merely knowing the subject, being able to explain the subject, maybe able to talk to others on the subject is not sufficient for getting the qualification. You have to face your examination with confidence and also do well in the examination. The marks that you score in your examination are a passport for your professional life. The person who spoke just before me, he has secured 440 marks. A person who had scored 350 marks and also qualified, I don't think the organizers would show them this place and come and talk. Yes or no? Yes? 350 is also pass at the IPCC level. But we would not give him this honor of asking him to come and talk before you and share his ideas and experiences. So, the marks that you score in the examination are an important tool for projecting yourself once you get the qualification. It's all right to say, I will somehow pass the examination. But your approach should be, I should pass the examination with maximum number of marks. That attitude should be reflected not as a mere thought in the mind. That should be reflected every day, every moment you prepare. I would first like to talk about the attitude that is required for the examination. 350 is also pass at the IPCC level. 400 is also pass at the final level. Correct? Yes? This is the minimum or this is the only mark you have to score? Huh? Minimum. We never thought about, no teacher in the school would tell a student how to get 35. Work only for 35. How to get 40. Work only for 40. No teacher in the school would do that. But CA course, try to pass. Do whatever you want. And there are very interesting statements which are made in the various social networking sites. In the electronic world, the less said about them, the better it is. Because one person says, don't try to write for all the 100 marks in the examination. Nonsense. Don't try to write for, then why are you going to the examination hall? What purpose? For taking the question paper and fanning. Don't try to write for 100 marks, point number one. Don't try to write, maybe that statement in due course will deteriorate and say, don't try to write the examination. Right? For that 100 marks that will go out. Don't try to write the examination at all. That's not the intention. When you are going to the examination hall, your intention should be to write for 100, if not more than 100%. That should be reflected in your attitude, point number one. And if you have to write for 100, you have to prepare thoroughly in that particular subject. Yes or no? Right. Supposing I have a problem, a small ailment or a sprain in my right hand. I go to a medical professional and tell him, I am having some movement problem in my hand. So please kindly see what can be done. That person has a look at my hand and says, correct, nice hand, correct. But you see, this topic, hand-related area, I didn't study for my examination. In my college, they told me it is not an important topic for the exam. So I have not studied. You don't worry. Right? Technology has developed. I will consult a few of my friends online and then rectify your problem. Is it tolerable to have such a professional? A professional in that area cannot afford to omit any subject while he prepares. A professional in our area cannot afford to miss out on any topic when you are preparing for the examination. That's the attitude with which you have to approach the subject. Whatever is there, I am not going to look at important topic, less important topic, easy topic, difficult topic and all that. Every topic I should know, I should learn. If I read once, I am not able to understand, no problem, I will read 2 times. If I read 2 times, I am not able to understand, no problem, I will read 3 times. After reading 3 times also, I am not able to understand, no problem, I will read 4 times. I will have to read again and again. Reading again and again is much better than I will write the examination 1 time, then I will write again 2nd time, I will write again 3rd time. You decide which is better. Because the course is known only for people who visit the hall many times. In fact, generally I share with my friends in the classroom an interesting anecdote. In the examination hall, the person sitting next to you scratches his head and puts up his hand to the invigilator and says, sir, I have a doubt. Immediately we will be seeing which side of the question paper he is holding. Why I am not getting that doubt? I am also holding same question paper. Why I am not getting that doubt? That will be that he is getting that doubt. I don't know the subject. I am not getting that doubt. The invigilator comes near him and says, mumbles something. Our friend also smiles and says, thank you, sir, and sits down. This person had a doubt. That doubt has been resolved. He is able to go ahead with that resolved situation. I don't know what that doubt is. I am not getting that doubt. Probably the invigilator might have come and told him, sir, I am a physics professor. I don't know anything in this paper, but I know one thing. 6 months back also you came. Now also you are here. By the look of your face, I know after 6 months also you will come. So let's get to know each other better. We'll have coffee after 5 o'clock. Maybe for that coffee, our friend would have said, thank you, sir. That smile is only for the coffee, not for the doubt getting clarified. If this psychology works, and then in all those, my student friends tell me, sir, costing paper lengthy, accounts paper lengthy, correct, every paper lengthy. I asked them what is the source of this information. They said, sir, in the CA students website it is there. In all that forum it is there. I asked him when that first posting came that the paper is lengthy. First posting came at 2:45 p.m. Examination time 2 to 5. Right? Certainly sitting inside the examination hall, our friend would not have done this. Minimum 1 hour you would have to sit. Maybe by 3 o'clock that first posting came, 2:45 or 3 o'clock thereabouts. So we know the talent of the student who has come out of the examination hall in 1 hour. If that person makes a comment that the question paper is lengthy, difficult, and there are 500 people who will immediately respond, correct, question paper is lengthy. We know the collective talent of all these people, right? We should believe in ourselves what we have got to do, more than what is outside. Look at what you have got to do, what job you have got to do. That is what is required in a professional when you going for your examination. When you approach the subject, you should extend an arm towards the subject. I don't like maths, I don't like accounts, I don't like costing, I don't like tax, I don't like information technology, I don't like, what is that, indirect tax. Of course, 7 plus 8, 15 subjects as of now. Prepare a list and say, I don't like, I don't like. Subject also won't like you. And institute, once in 6 months, it will send you an invitation card along with your photo on that. Dear so-and-so, you have been supporting our examination efforts 2 times in every calendar year. We expect your continued support year after year. That's all. Very popularly called admit card or examination hall ticket that will keep on coming to you. It is your responsibility to have it only once for each stage, IPCC and final. That comes only when you have a very positive attitude. In fact, one of my students who is presently a chartered accountant, he is a person whose vision capabilities are a little bit restricted. He can't see beyond this. He can't keep a notebook like this and write. He has to bend down like this and write. His vision permits only that. Inside a classroom, even if he sits in the first row, he doesn't know which color shirt I am wearing. That's the type of restriction he had. He qualified in the first sitting in the final examination, both IPCC, P2 and final. Very multifaceted, talented personality except for the restriction, except for that particular restriction. He otherwise carries on his life in a very normal manner. That's different. The point is, I asked him to speak for the next set of students as to how he would, with that restriction, how he would face that challenge and come over. He said, and somebody asked him a question. How do you know that is in this attempt you will pass? The question is, how do you know you will pass in this attempt? He retorted back saying, nonsense, it is not an attempt, it is my examination. Attempt means I am deciding that I am going to come again. It is my exam. That's the attitude that is expected in a student. It is not that I should come again and again. For that attitude, you have to work. That work should be reflected in your day-to-day activities. And these days, when you attend seminars, conferences and all that, and also generally sound in the air, you should learn practically. That viewpoint is always there. Please remember, examination orientation is different, practical learning is different. Practically, how to file an income tax return is different from how to compute income in the examination hall. They are entirely different. I assume a lot of final students, people who are doing articleship, they are sitting here. Am I correct in my assumption? Yes? Final students are here? Can you put up your hands, please? Right. Right. You tell me, income tax calculation practically is top-down working or bottom-up working? Bottom-up working. This is the TDS already deducted. I want this much of refund. If this is the required refund, how much income I should offer? Right? Then I will classify into the 5 appropriate heads, whichever fashion I want. My 11th standard accounting teacher told me, closing stock is an adjustment. What she meant was, below the trial balance, and you should have 2 effects, one in the trading account, the other one in the balance sheet. That was her intention. But the real intention of closing stock is an adjustment. I understood only when I did my articleship. Closing stock is an adjustment. Whatever number you want, you can put there. It can be adjusted in whichever way you want. Friends, this is the difference between learning practically and preparing for the examination. We all know how to operate a computer. Yes? We all know how to browse the internet. Yes, it is not necessary we should have a desktop or a specific infrastructure to have to browse the internet. We have it in our palms itself. It is not sufficient if you know that practically. If you want to qualify in the 2 papers, first level, Information Technology and Strategic Management, and at the next level, Information Systems Control and Audit, you should know the theory. What is the technology required? What is the background required? All that you should be able to write in English. There is a difference between learning from the examination angle and writing from the writing for the or learning practically. Your examination system is intended to test how much control you have over the theory, over what is written in the textbook. Learn that thoroughly. Learn that with a view to remember the important points and try to write that important points as effectively as possible. Many people tend to get 40, 45, etc., but fail to get the aggregate. How to get through and get the maximum marks? It doesn't lie merely in studying. It lies in how effectively you are studying. Each of us study. But how effectively we are going to study and how effectively we are going to write in the examination, that only makes us a thorough, or that only makes us get through the examination. I would like to take a small example which all of you are aware and tell you what are all the possible answers and which of these will fetch you marks. Companies Auditors Report Order, CARO, and private companies are exempted in case certain conditions are satisfied. How many conditions are there? 4. 4. What are the conditions? Okay. No, because I have studied 3. Anyway, go ahead. No problem. Doesn't matter. State to state variation maybe. Let's check. One is the capital condition. Yes. Turnover condition. Then loans condition. Then what is the 4th one? Okay, right. I know of 3 conditions. Since I am holding the mic, I would prefer that we settle for 3 conditions. Not 3.5. We'll settle for 3 conditions. Our friend writes in the examination, the following conditions are applicable for exemption from CARO. First point, aggregate of authorized capital and reserves should be less than 50 lakhs. Or capital should not exceed 50 lakhs. Like that he writes. Aggregate of authorized capital and reserves. No, that's not the wording. Aggregate of paid up capital and reserves. Paid up capital and free reserves. Paid up capital and reserves. Aggregate, that word is missing. No mark will be given. Absolutely no mark. Sir, 50 lakh number I have written correctly. See, after 5 I have put the correct number of zeros also. No mark. No mark. Because writing 50 is not the criteria. That 50 is supported by so much concept before that. Then second condition. What is the second condition? Term loans. Correct? No, it's not term loans. It's not borrowings. Loans from banks and financial institutions. You have to be very specific in your writing. Sir, I will remember 25 lakhs and write on my own. Sorry, for writing on your own and all, no mark will be given. Sorry, we are not that kind of institute where we will give you mark based on what you have written on your own. Or, sir, I feel that this should be the answer. For feeling and all, mark will not be given. You can't feel. You have to write. And only what is there, you have to write. There is no scope of remembering anything approximately and writing it. A simple example, this equipment is placed on the tripod stand here. If our technical person were to place it approximately anywhere near it, it would have fallen down by now. Yes or no? Approximately placing it will not work. You have to correctly place it. That has to click in that particular slot. Only then it would have been placed properly. Your answer should be as effective as that. It's a very practical example I am giving, a tangible example I am giving. Supposing I were to learn this today from him, don't worry, I will not learn. Right? If I were to learn this today from him, maybe first time I would not be as effective as he is. Yes or no? But I practice 4 or 5 times, I would be able to do it. That is the extent of practice, and that is what my friend earlier was telling you. Practice many times in order to gain control over what is required. Practice writing. Practice accounting, practice costing, practice writing, so that you will be able to practice also writing theory paper, so that you will get the clarity of the expression. It might be possible that we would have studied up to class 12 or other levels. We would have studied in our native tongue. No problem at all. It's not necessary that you should have come through the entire structure of education only in English language. Not required. But our examination is in English language. Let's face that challenge. Let us first They develop their ability to write and practice, so that writing and practicing before the examination many times is much better than writing many times the examination itself. That's again a point I would like to mention.